Hope you guys are having such a glorious day. If not, do understand and get your day, your life is going to get better, honey, once you think twice. Your day, your life is going to get better once your perception gets better. So I got a download for me to come and do a video this morning. And at first I was like, do it on what? Right, right. And it was a few ideas that popped in my mind, and one of them was the book The Science of Getting Rich. So I had told you guys, and I read this book several times on YouTube. Okay, and this book is by Wallace Wattles, and it has some interesting parts in there. And some of the interesting parts is basically what we have been conditioned to believe, right? What we have been conditioned to believe when it comes to money, and how oftentimes we feel that the less, because we've been conditioned, the less we have or the less you may have, it will put you closer to God, which is a complete lie. Also, we've been conditioned to believe that don't ask God for too much, right? Ask God only for, basic stuff. Suppose you want to earn 100,000, per month. And you say, well, you know what, God, I don't know about 100,000. Let me just do 10,000, right? And in a book by Wallace Wattles, he says, don't ask God for a meager existence, right? And he goes on and he talks about what Jesus said. And one of the things Jesus said was, in my Father's house, there are many homes, okay? And basically understand that God has the ability to give you whatever it is that you feel you deserve, okay? Or that you feel, basically what you deserve. If you look, it's so funny because I didn't even know what the topic of this title or whatever was gonna be. I didn't even know how the conversation was gonna go this morning, but I trusted the process enough to start the video, okay? And this is what faith looks like when you don't have all the answers, but you get that download to make a video and you say, oh my goodness, I don't even know what the video is going to be about. And you just get ideas. Okay. That's faith. So if you feel, say for instance, right, you say that you want a loving relationship, right? You want a loving relationship. And you're like, oh my goodness, God, please send somebody in my life that is loving, that is kind, that is, going to be my protector, my provider, because he's in his masculine energy, right? And you most likely gonna be in your feminine energy. Now, when you say those things, if you believe subconsciously that you don't deserve that, or if you have a belief that all men are dogs, then guess what? You will meet Fido. Okay. You will definitely meet Fido. And the reason being is because God can only go based upon the laws of this here universe. God is not giving you or going to give you something that you feel subconsciously you don't deserve. Okay. So when you feel like you deserve it, guess what? That's when you will have it, but not until you feel like you deserve it. So, and the same as that concept when it comes to money as well. Is some people that really, really want their lives to change. I mean, they doing the work, they doing, doing stuff, but they still have not changed their mindset, their belief system. If you have been brought up in a household where as though, everything been based upon scarcity, it's been based upon not having enough, you heard things like money don't grow on trees. You can't have everything that you want, and you have to work extremely hard in order for you to have those things. Now, all of those beliefs that you tend to have going on in your subconscious mind. Some people think that, they still don't have those beliefs, but I can assure you, if you're not doing any work on yourself, my friend, you still have those beliefs. Okay. And you guys always hear me say work, right? And it's so funny because I remember I used to listen to Miss Iyanla Van Zandt and back in the day. And I remember when she used to do Fix My Life. And I remember she used to say, do the work. And I used to be like, what work is she talking about? Right? What work is she talking about? Well, when you ask enough and you seek, ye shall find, okay? And based upon me wanting to know which work she was talking about, later on, I discovered the work that she's talking about is doing the work on yourself. Go over those belief systems that you have. Question why you tend to do some of the things that you tend to do. And understand that you can change that. You do not have to stay the same. But if you don't know why you do what you do, you're going to keep on doing the same exact thing. Or if you believe that somebody is responsible for why you do what you do, guess what? Your life is going to continuously be the same because you believe that somebody else is responsible for what you have or what has shown up in your life. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get the Prosperity Bible. Okay, and we're going to talk about this. It's so funny because last night when I did a video, I had looked at this. Okay. Let me get very nice and comfy. Okay. Let me get so nice and comfy. Okay. So this is what it says in a Prosperity Bible. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And I absolutely love this book. I mean, I read this book. I read this book so many times. It is such an amazing read. And one of the things that I am going to say is this, for everything that you are going through in life, I want you to understand that there's a solution to it. Yes, friend, there's a solution to it. Everything that has shown up in your life, I could assure you that there's a solution to it. You may not know what the solution is right now, but I could assure you that there's a solution. If you keep on looking for the answers, seek and ye shall find. I could assure you that you will find the answers, but you have to be receptive. You have to be in a mood of receiving the answers. Okay. It's so many people that want answers to whatever it is that they are facing in life, but they're not receptive to receiving those answers. They feel like there's not an answer to whatever it is. In fact, they pay attention so much to the problem that they don't even make room for the solution. I want you to understand this. There could never, and I do mean never, there could never, ever, ever be a problem without the solution. Never, never. Okay. I remember when I first heard that, and it gave me a sense of relief to understand that there's a solution. The bigger the problem it is, the bigger opportunity you have. So don't look at problems and think, oh my goodness, this is such a problem. Your life is like just horrible. No, the bigger the problem, the bigger the bigger the opportunity. So I told you guys, when I was in college, right? And I was going to, like a few months, I was about to graduate from college. And I was, faced with obstacles left and right. It was just a lot. It was some stuff going on, in my life. And I remember I had spoke to my aunt, one of my aunts. And as I spoke to one of my aunts, she was telling me, pretty much encouraging me. But I remember I was faced with adversity, and the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. And so after I graduated from college, because one of the things I want you guys to understand and get is that when you are changing your life or when you make a decision that you want better from life, obstacles are going to come. They will come more so now than ever before. And I want you to understand it. The reason I know all of this stuff is because of study. Some people, they think because they are changing and all these obstacles has come to visit upon them, they think that, you know what, maybe I should just throw in a towel. No, friend, you don't just throw in a towel. You keep on going. It's the same as that concept when you go to the gym, right? Say, for instance, you go to the gym. You know, I'm so proud of myself. Let me just say this, because let me say this again for somebody that's out there, okay? Before I came to do this live video, I didn't have an idea too much on what the video was going to be about. But I trusted the process so much that I started the video. And as I started the video, the ideas, they just started flowing to me, okay? And that's what faith looks like. You're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to be able to see everything all at once. You will get a download, an intuition, a gut feeling that is going to tell you to do something. And based on your faith, is either you're going to do it or you're going to retreat. Now, if you retreat, that means that you just don't trust. And in order for you to be rocking out to God, you have to trust. You have to trust in the unknown. You have to be willing to surrender. You have to be willing, to do something you never done before. Now, suppose if God was telling me to do this video, and then somebody, and this is how it normally happens, and then somebody come across the video and they needed to hear the words, not my words, because God is speaking and working through me, but the words that they need in order for them to change their lives. Let me tell you something. I could never change your life. Let me just put that out. I see the comments that you guys put up under my videos that I helped you and stuff like that. Well, I can't help you, so to speak. I mean, I can give you information and stuff like that, and God is working through me. But you are the one that's really helping yourself. Because if I recommend the book and you go get the book, you helping yourself, my love. I'm just being a message. Okay. So I don't want anybody, and that's another thing, because when you start looking at people and start feeling like, oh, this person have the answers to my life. No, you have the answers to your life. The answers are within you. Now, you may come across people that may have you remember, but they can't help your life. They can't change your life. They can't fix your life. You have to fix your life. You have to help your life. You have to do the things. Because as long as I recommend a book and you don't go get the book, I mean, that's not real. No, you are the one that's helping yourself. It's you. And so when I was in college, remember, the bigger the obstacle is, the bigger the reward is. Okay, so I'm in college and I'm going through these things, and then I graduate from college, and it was just like, adversity with family. Okay, and after I graduated college, okay, I received, and I done told this story so many times, $10,000 and $500 from Section 8. Okay, because I had goals and I achieved and accomplished my goals. And so I want you to understand, and it's so crazy because it was so much stuff was going on. I got fired, I'm going through this with family members. It was so much that was going on at that time. But guess what? After I graduated, it seemed like the things that I was going through, it seemed like they just disappeared. Not really disappeared. I mean, they just went away. And you know why? Because I wasn't so much focused on that. I was focused on the solution. I need to graduate in order so I can hit my goal. And after I graduated, everything, my life transformed. Everything came. The money all came. The vehicle came. And this was like after I got fired. Okay? And so you may be in a time right now in your life, but I am here to tell you, you are not going to stay there. You are not going to stay there. Why? Because deep down inside, you deserve better. You deserve more. And even if you don't know what's the next step, I could assure you, you will receive the next step. Because God is not going to leave you nor forsake you. God is always with you. And God is not in the sky. Okay? Well, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. Okay? But I know God is within me. And me and God is one. We are one. And that's what you need to start understanding. God is not going to do anything drastic in your life if you don't believe you deserve it. If you feel you don't deserve it, you're not going to get it. And I keep saying this because God is not going. Say, for instance, you're a people pleaser. And I talk about people pleaser a lot because I want the people who feel that they have to please everybody and please people before themselves. I want you to understand that that's not going to get you better results. And I know you may feel that way. You may feel like, I'm always helping Miss Betty. I'm always doing this and I'm always helping people, but it seems like my life isn't changing. You know why? Because you believe you don't deserve it. You believe that you have to put people before you. And you're in violation. Because even in the Bible, it says, love thy God first. You're supposed to love you first. You can't give something, love thy neighbor the way you love yourself. So you can't give your neighbor something that you don't have. You can't try to give somebody something that you clearly don't have. And when people tend to do that, the reason they do it is because for codependency. If I do this for you, you do this for me. If I always put you first before me, maybe you'll give me the love that I'm looking for. If I always give you, maybe you would give me the love that I desire. And you know what's crazy? Because that's not how this here thing works. If you feel you are operating from a scarcity and a lack, and that's how you showing up, it doesn't matter how much good you are doing. And I'm not saying don't do good, but what I am saying is if you expect to receive something and you feel deep down inside you really don't deserve it, you can do all the good in the world. You have to change your mindset. You have to understand I deserve it. And when you feel like you deserve it, guess what? You're not going to be a yes person. No. You're not going to be a yes person. You know why? Because you know that you have to put yourself first in order for you to be good for anybody else. And that's something that I'm learning still. especially with my children. Okay. With my children. So my youngest children, I am grateful that their father is in their life. Okay. With my oldest children, their fathers wasn't pretty much in their lives like that because they was in and out of jail. Right. And those was the type of guys that I chose before. Looking for love, wanting love, and didn't understand that oftentimes when we get into relationships, we go after things that are familiar. And so those guys, they was familiar to me. They reminded me subconsciously of my father. Okay. And so they wasn't really in my two oldest children's lives like that, my two oldest children's fathers. But my youngest children father, they father are pretty much in their life. They go to their father house, on the week. Well, they supposed to go Thursdays to Mondays. But my youngest daughter, a lot of times she'll say she don't want to go. And so some weeks, like last week, I let both of them stay, my youngest children stay. And what I seen was, it was fun. We had such an amazing time. We went, we did things, Saturday. I just was it Saturday or Sunday? No, Sunday. We had went out. I took them to Edgewater, like the place where I normally go, the luxury condos and stuff like that. We went to the supermarket, got something to eat, and we just sat and we vibed and we walked along like the river. We seen the condos and stuff, and those are some of the things that I enjoy bringing my children around to expand their mind, to see what is possible. Oh, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I'm gonna tell you guys a story, and this is what trust looks like. Okay, remember what I said, and I'm gonna keep on bringing this point up for the people to get this. When I first started this video, I did not have a clue what the video was going to be. I didn't know what I was going to talk about in this video. I just got the download for me to go live on YouTube. And at first I was like, go live on YouTube. Sometimes you may say, God, is that you telling me to go live? And at first I was like, all right. And then what I started doing, I started writing out my list for the things that I need to do, right? Like my goals and stuff. All my goals is nothing about me going live. And this is what trust in the process looks like. And so I'm listening to Reverend Ike right now as well. And at first I was ignoring, like, all right, but then it came back up. Go live. Okay. And it's not like, is just the idea. It's an idea that you tend to get. Go live. Right. And so I said, all right, I'm gonna go live. And so as I came on here, the ideas just start flowing. This is what trust in the process looks like. You don't need to have all the answers, all the steps. You don't need to be the guru that reached the mountaintop. You don't need to have all of that. Trust the process. Understand that God is within you. And God is not going to let you down. So when you get that idea for you to do whatever it is, you need to move on it. Because if you don't, and the ideas, they come very quick, like a flash. And, it's funny because Florence Shen, who wrote the book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, which is in this book, one of the things Florence Shen says, she says, the ideas, they come very, very quick. And those ideas, those are God ideas. And so when you get those ideas, you have to move. So the story time. Back in 2020 or 2022. No, I think it was 2020. So the whole time during, COVID, right? As though it was a shutdown and stuff like that. I remember, Edgewater. Okay. I talk about Edgewater a lot because Edgewater is really, really nice. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's about probably 30 minutes from where I live. Absolutely gorgeous. And so I may take a ride to Edgewater today. But I remember me and my oldest children, okay, I had wanted to go for a ride to get out the house. And so we had drove to Edgewater. Now, this was during the time the whole shutdown and everything like that. And I remember I had went to this part of Edgewater where is these like big, beautiful homes, okay? And they have a cop sitting outside, these fancy homes. Oh my goodness, they look so gorgeous. And so I didn't know that. Okay. This was like the first time I ever been in this part of Edgewater. Normally I would go to the Target and stuff like that, the shopping plazas, or I would go like where the water is. But this was like the really first time that like I went in this part of Edgewater. So I went up there and I had a 2000, I think was it a 2008, 2006? My homegirl, she had gave me her car because she had brought a new car. So I had a 2006, a Honda Accord, okay, and I had drove up there. And when I got up there, it was a cop up there that was just sitting there, right? And I didn't think too much of it. I just was like, all right, the cop is, just sitting there, and I kept on going. Like I went all the way down to the end of the block where you can't go no further. So then I turned around and I started leaving. And so my oldest son said, "You're going to get pulled over," right? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, watch you get pulled over. He said that, like, I think he said that when we was in a house that I was going to get pulled over. And because I accepted that belief, okay, I wound up getting pulled over. So the cop, very nice. He was really, really cool. But he pulled me over for sure. Well, actually, after I drove, I had seen that he was like behind me. So what I did was I pulled over and then he had like act like he was going down a certain block. And soon as I pulled back off, like, started driving again, then he started like tailing me again. So then I guess he ran the plates and stuff like that. Well, honey, everything on that car was either expired, wasn't good, or whatever, right? So the inspection sticker, I think it was expired. What else? The insurance, it was good, but the registration or something, it was expired too. Like it was like so many things. And so he was like, what was you doing over there? Right. And so one of the things, and at first I was like, oh my goodness, Dina, do not tell this cop that, right? And so I say, I drive places. I swear I told this cop this. I said, I drive places. And it was as if God was like literally speaking through me. And I was like, I drive places and I let my children see what is possible. And I let them see that they can manifest whatever it is that they desire. Now, I don't know if this cop was like, oh my goodness, this is a loose one. I don't know if he said that. But I can tell you one thing, I walked away with nothing, no tickets, nothing. And he said, I could have them come tow your car because it has absolutely nothing is good on this car, right? Pretty much. Well, not that it wasn't good, but the paperwork and stuff. So he said, I could have somebody to come and tow your car. And he was like, but I'm gonna let you go. And he let me go, right? And he was like, see if you could get those things on, So the next few days I spent going to motor vehicles. If honey, motor vehicles was like, woo, some type of way during this time. I'm trying to see if it was 2020 or 2022. It was one of those. At this point, motor vehicle, it was open, okay? It was open because I did go get the stuff on a car. So one of the things that you have to understand is there's a calling on your life. Yes, there's a calling on your life. And you may feel that you're not equipped for the calling. You may feel that you don't have what it takes in order for you to do the job. I am here to tell you, God is not going based upon your education. When God gave you that purpose, that gift, God wasn't looking, and I don't care for saying God is a male or a female or anything like that. It's just spirit. Okay. God wasn't looking for if you was qualified based upon your school grades. Okay. And some of you guys, that's what holds a lot of you guys back, because you will say, well, I was told to write a book, but I'm not good at writing. Well, there's people that will publish your book for you. They will write the book. You give them the idea, they will do it. I remember I had a download. I just got finished meditating, right? And I had this download for me to create this book called Juiced Up. And I was like, juiced up, At this time, I was doing juices and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't even know how to put the book in format, right? And so what wound up happening was I had went on Fiverr. I got this download to go on Fiverr. And in my meditation, when I got the download, like after the meditation was over and it said juiced up, I had went online. Jesus is coming soon. That's your belief, honey. Grand Rising. Um, so I had got the title. Hey, Nikki. Vernon, peace to you, baby. Tracy, peace to you, peace to you. KP, peace to you, peace to you. Is it Chelsea? Chizzy? Peace to you, peace to you. Reluctant Gamer, peace to you. Mamie, peace to you. I think that's how you say it. Okay. And so, what wound up happening was I got the download, right, for me to do the book and also the title of the book. And I didn't know, like, juiced up, like, where did that idea come from, right? And so what I did was I went on Google to see, like, what did the title mean? And it meant something spiritual. And I said, oh my goodness. Okay, so then I went on Fiverr. I was looking for someone who could help me with the book. And I gave the lady the ideas of how I wanted the book to be formatted. And she pretty much put the book into the format that I wanted it in, like the recipes and everything like that. That book was created within, I want to say, like a day or 2 days. The book was created. The book is on Amazon. Okay. So when I tell you to trust the process, trust the process. You have to trust the process when you get those downloads. Okay. Matter of fact, let me see if I could go on here and show you guys the book. Amazon Prime. It's an Amazon Prime. Wait, hold on. Amazon. Hold on, family. Come on. Oh, God. Juiced Up book. Juiced Up book on Amazon. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay. So this is the book. Okay. All from me trusting the process. Okay. I didn't know exactly what, like, I didn't know how to write the book, how to format the book. You know, I just gave the lady the ideas. I mean, I told her, you know, the ingredients and stuff like that. But I didn't, and this all came from a download. This all came from a download in my meditation session. Okay. For me to create and make a book. And so this is what trust in the process looks like. I could have said easily, oh my goodness, I don't know. You know, I've been told that I wasn't smart enough. I was in special ed in high school. I could have used all of those things to just be like, no, I'm not writing no book. Or no, I'm not going to let somebody else put the book together for me. You know, I'm not equipped. No. I believe in myself wholeheartedly. And so when I got to download, I immediately went to Fiverr and let the lady put the book together. I gave her the ingredients, exactly how the juice and stuff's supposed to be, and she just made the book. And so you have to listen when you get those downloads. You have, when it's telling you to do all these, when it's telling you to do these things, you have to listen. If you You can't expect your life to change if you feel like you don't deserve change. Your life is not going to change if you really deep down inside feel like you don't deserve it. It's just not going to happen. You got to understand that you deserve it. And you know if you deserve it, right? Because remember, God can only give you what you feel you deserve. God is only going to give you what you are in harmony with. God is not, and some people say God can do all things. Yes, God can do many things, but some things he just, I don't care for saying he, right? But so in the habit, but some things God will just not do. And God is not fin to violate the laws of the universe. The laws in this here universe is set up in place for a reason. So God isn't finna give you something that you feel like you don't deserve. Because you feel deep down inside you don't deserve it. So how would you even be able to accept it? You know, it's so funny. I know a person. This person, I did a video about this before. This person, she has a beautiful heart, but she's a people pleaser. And she looks for love. So the compensation is, oh, I'm gonna do this for you, but if you could give me love, right? And want to be liked. And so this person, she would go out of her way to do things. And when people try to give her money, she won't accept it. She just won't take the money. She will not accept it. She could have went to like 5 stores. She will not accept it. Oh, mentorship. I never did a mentorship. But she won't accept it. You just said you was from Korea. Now you saying you from Turkey. Come on now, honey. Which one? Korea or Turkey? But she won't accept them. She won't accept it. And that is an indication that you can't accept, you don't feel like you deserve money. And I know some of you guys probably even do this. When people try to give you stuff, you will not accept it. That's a self-image thing. You believe you don't deserve it. I was on the bus the other day, and this lady, they was friends. And this lady was trying everything in her power to give her friend money. And the friend will not take it. The friend went so far as to taking the money after the lady, her friend gave her the money. The friend went so far to try to give the money right back to the friend. And the friend was like, no. And the other lady, no, just keep it. Keep your money. I remember when I first heard that by you, I think about it. But I remember the friend said, I remember I heard somebody say this. They said, by you not accepting, and Reverend Ike is one of the people who says, I always speak about Reverend Ike, and this is one of the things I want to say. I remember, and this is what the downloads look like, right? The algorithm on all these platforms is a copycat of what you got subconsciously. So if you subconsciously in your mind, if you are a person that's keep coming across fighting videos and you press on those fighting videos and you be entertained, that's because what you got going on in your mind. You like drama, you like chaos. If you're a person that's always coming across videos pertaining to prosperity, that's because what you got going on in your mind. You look at it like, no, I'm just being, they showing me all this stuff is a copycat of your mind, the algorithms on whatever platform you're on. Okay. And so I remember I had came across, now I didn't know this before. But I remember Neil Knowledge. I remember he had said that, and I said, "Oh my goodness, that is true." Because the stuff that you come across, in order for you to come across those things, you have to be in harmony with those things. So I remember I was walking, okay, and I remember I came across a guy. I was listening to, I think, Bob Proctor at the time, and had YouTube suggest videos, and I had came across a video of Reverend Ike. I didn't know exactly who he was at the time, right? And so, honey, okay, in the bushes. So I remember I was listening to, I came across Reverend Ike, right? I'm so grateful for YouTube. I'm thankful for YouTube, okay? Because the video recommendations, right? Not only that, but also for me to be able to earn money from doing exactly like what I love. I mean, that makes all the difference in the world, for you to actually earn money for doing what you love is the best feeling, is the best feeling. And sometimes the ego may want to try to get in your way and tell you like all this stuff. But let me tell you something, is the best feeling. That feeling that I used to have going in the bathroom. And I used to say, I know I did not come here to work only and pay bills. I know there's a bigger calling on my life. I wasn't saying a bigger calling. I just said, I know I didn't just come here for that. And if you seek, ye shall find. Okay. And God was like, absolutely, there's a bigger calling, but you have to be willing to accept the calling. That's the thing. Okay. You have to be willing to accept the calling. You have to accept it. Well, first of all, you're not going to get, what you whenever you get what you're supposed to do is because you're ready for it. Don't look at it like, I'm not ready. You think you're not ready. The ego is telling you you're not ready, but you're ready. That's why you got it. That's why you got the calling. You would not get the calling if you wasn't ready. That's not how it works. So when you get the idea to write the book, it's because that book is already completed. It's for you to take action. Okay, yes, it's completed. It's for you to take action. Everything is already completed. It's for you to take action. Trust the process. It's like, is she going to trust it? Is she going to trust it? Now, the ego is going to tell you all types of stuff. Don't write the book. You're not good enough. It's going to even bring up points from when you was a kid in school. You remember what your teacher said? You wasn't smart enough. It's going to bring all these things up. And it's for you to say, and I always go back to this, but what did God say? I don't give a damn what the teacher said. I don't give a damn what men say. What did God say? God said for you to write the book. God said for you to get started. So you don't listen to what men, because men is only going to give you their limitations. Not all, but the ones that tell you you're not equipped, you're not good enough, that's their limitations. And remember, somebody gave that to them. It's basically poison that they just giving it, passing it on. And if you believe in it, guess what? That's what's going to happen. You're going to be poisoned because you accept the poison, because you believe subconsciously you don't have what it takes. So every time I take, honey, you know how much action I took and I continuously take? I didn't only do it with the book. I also did it with opening up my own business. Whenever I receive a download, I do it. And as many times where as though I was on Facebook and I would do a video on Facebook and allow Facebook, okay, my Facebook family to accompany me. And I would say in a video, I'm a little nervous. When I went and opened up a business account with Chase Bank, open my, I was a little nervous. But I let them know I was a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, but let me tell you something. You can still get past that fear. And I did it. And so you have to ask yourself, will I do it? I don't care if you're nervous. See, you've been conditioned to believe. You've been conditioned to believe that you're not supposed to feel fear or do it when the fear leaves. The fear is not going to leave, my love. It's just not going to leave until you do it. Or you would be a person that's just sitting and allowing fear to punk you. Now, if you don't do whatever it is that you're supposed to do, then guess what? You living in a prison. Because the thing you're supposed to do is a reason why you're supposed to do it. And it doesn't matter if 50 people or if it's 100 people or 100 million people doing the same thing. They are not you. They not you. They can't do it like you. They don't have the same calling as you. They don't have the same perception as you. They are not you. So get this idea out your mind, like, oh, it's so many people that's doing it. So what? And let me tell you something. In New York City, if you go to, let me see, is it 33rd Street? 33rd Street in Manhattan, okay? If you go and walk on 33rd, you will see that there's so many people selling the same exact thing. Whether it's the hot dogs, whether it's the pocketbooks, whether it's the shades, they are selling the same exact thing. You think one of them would say, well, he down the street, that guy down the street, he's selling shades. I ain't selling no shades. No, they still come out. Because they have people that's waiting for them to buy from them. And that guy have people waiting to buy from him. And your audience or your tribe is waiting for you to show up. But the only way they can show up, is if they feel your vibe. And I mean your authentic vibe. I'm not talking about the pretend person. I'm not talking about their ego, rocking out to the ego. I'm talking about your authenticity, the authentic you. And they waiting for you to show up. So when you get the ideas, it's for you to act on them. It is not for you to say, that don't make sense. I'm like, why would I do that? That just don't make sense. No, you need to act on them, okay? It felt like I was going to tell you guys another story. Oh, I told you guys the cop thing. All right, so I'm going to read this real quick. And hopefully you guys will get this book, okay? I done showed this book so many times, The Prosperity Bible. If you go on my Amazon, because I have an Amazon storefront on here, on my YouTube page, you can buy the book, okay? It'll direct you straight to the link, okay, on Amazon for you to get this book, all right? And so this is what it says. This is the science of getting rich. I want you to understand that success leaves clues. Rhonda Byrne, who wrote The Secret, okay, Law of Attraction, I believe it was her sister, if I'm not mistaken. Her sister gave her this book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And from reading this book, she created The Secret. So you got to understand that success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. All the books that I read, all the successful people, the ones that I listen to, I may listen to an interview or something, they all recommend mainly the same exact books. They read the same, they go mostly the same exact places. They is success leaves clues. That's what you want to understand. Okay. So it says how riches come to you. When I say that you do not have to drive sharp bargains, I do not mean that you do not have to drive any bargains at all. No, this is not the part. This is the part. If you want a sewing machine, okay, so this is to the people that's out there that they desire more, right? And I also want you to understand that you desire more. I don't want you to feel like, oh, since it didn't happen in 30 days, that just means that it's not coming. No, that does not mean it. And if you hanging around people that says, well, you've been talking about this thing for a long time and your life is such and such. Listen, those seeds, they have to be, you plant the seeds and then you reap the harvest. But you don't get the harvest the same exact season as you plant the seeds. Know that it's here. Whatever it is that you desire, it is here already. It is done. It is finished. You would not be wanting it if it was not here. If you want a sewing machine, for instance, I do not mean to tell you that you are to impress the thought of a sewing machine on thinking substance until the machine is formed without hands. So some people feel like, you know what, I'm just going to sit around and I'm not going to do nothing, right? Without hands in a room where you sit or elsewhere. But if you want a sewing machine, hold the mental image. Hold it. See yourself with it. You know, see yourself with the sewing machine, See yourself with the car. See yourself with the home. See yourself with the money. You have to hold the mental image. And one of the things that I highly recommend you do is write down all the times that you manifested, all the times that you manifested what it was that you desired, all the many times that you won. This is in so many books that it tells you to do this. It's in Think and Grow Rich book. It's in Psycho-Cybernetics. For you to write down exactly all the times that you won. Because if you focus on all the times that you won, you are going to keep creating more wins. Now, but if you want a sewing machine, hold a mental image of it with the most positive certainty that it is being made or is on its way to you. After one's forming the thought, have the most absolute and unquestioning faith that the sewing machine is coming. Never think of it or speak of it in any other way than as being sure to arrive. Claim it as already yours. It may be brought to you by the power of the supreme intelligence, acting upon the minds of men. If you live in Maine, it may be that a man will be brought from Texas or Japan, okay, to engage in some transaction, which will result in you getting what you want. If so, the whole matter will be as much to that man's advantage as it is yours. Do not forget for a moment that the thinking substance is through all, in all, communicating with all, and can influence all. So some of you guys like, well, hell's going to happen. Hell's going to happen. The hell is not your business. You just put out whatever it is that you desire. That's it. You just put it out. I desire to have this car. And you have to let go. You got to have a feeling of, you know, it's going to come. It's going to come. But you don't waste your days on looking for it. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, well, that means that it's not going to come. You have to have this like nonchalant. You know, if it comes, it comes. If it don't come, it don't come. But you know it's coming. You know it's coming. That's going to change your whole mood. When you know that you about to get paid, right? You guys work for a company or whatever. And you know, like for instance, YouTube pays the 21st of every month, right? I know my check is gonna be there on the 21st. I know that. Okay. I know my check is going to be there on the 21st of each month. I know that. And so when you know that, you have this assurance, like I know my check gonna be there. Okay. It's the same as that concept. Say, for instance, if you order something, if you order a pizza, right? And you trust the process because you like, I know. You order a pizza, right? Now, you call a pizza franchise or whatever it is, the mom and pop shop or whatever, and you say, oh, well, they answer the phone. How may I help you? Oh, well, I would like a large pizza. Okay. Well, whatever it is, you like onions, some sausages, some chicken, whatever it is, some pineapple, whatever it is you want on your pizza. Okay. And they take the order down and they say, all right, well, the pizza will be delivered in 20 to 30 minutes. Are you going to keep calling them? Are you going to, after you hang? No, you trust the process. You trust that they are going to bring your pizza. If you didn't trust it, you would keep on harassing them to the point where so they say, you know what, we're not even going to bring the pizza. We canceling the order. Or they may bring the pizza, but then they won't do business with you later on because you a nuisance. And this is how this here thing works. You have to trust the process. You get the download, you act on it. And so this is what the book says. It says, if so, the whole matter will be as much to that man's advantage as it is to yours. And then it goes on, do not forget for a moment that the thinking substance is through awe and awe communicating with awe. Remember, there's no time and space. There's no time and space. Because you think that it's time and space. You think that, oh my goodness, this person lived all the way over there. There's no time and space. It doesn't matter. It will be brought to you. And wait, and you know why I read these books and listen to like Abraham Hicks? Because there's so many phenomenons where people, I remember Abraham Hicks said, it was this lady, okay? Wait, let me finish reading this. All right. All right, I read that part. You can certainly have a sewing machine in your house. And it is just as certain that you can have any other thing or things which you want and which you will use for the advancement of your own life and the lives of others. You need not hesitate about asking largely. It is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom, said Jesus. Original substance wants to live all that is possible in you and wants you to have all that you can or will use for the living of the most abundant life. If you fix upon your consciousness the fact that the desire you feel for the possession of riches is one with the desire of the omniscience, I think, for more complete expression, your faith becomes invincible. Once I saw a little boy sitting at a piano and vainly trying to bring harmony out of the keys. And I saw that he was grieved and provoked by his inability to play real music. I asked him the cause of his vexation, and he answered, I can feel the music in me, but I can't make my hands go right. The music in him was the urge of original substance. The music in him was the urge of original substance that wants to be expressed. So, when you get a download to write that book, is the urge of original substance, is the urge of God wanting to be expressed. It's not you. It's not the ego. Is the urge. Is God, is the real self. See, you the reason you won't do it is because you allowing the ego to stop you from doing it. You allowing a false self to stop you from doing it. You allowing it to make you feel like you're not equipped, but you are equipped to do it. You wouldn't get the urge if you wasn't equipped to do it. And you get those urges because it's complete already. It's for you to step into the action and do it. Now, God, the one substance, is trying to live and do and enjoy things through humanity. He is saying, I want hands to build wonderful structures, to play divine harmonies, to paint glorious pictures. I want feet to run my errands, eyes to see my beauties, tongues to tell mighty truths, and to sing marvelous songs, and so on. So that there is a possibility is seeking expression through men. God wants those who can play music to have pianos and every other instrument, and to have the means to cultivate their talents to the fullest extent. He wants those who can appreciate beauty to be able to surround themselves with beautiful things. He wants those who can discern truth to have every opportunity to travel and observe. He wants those who can appreciate dress to be beautifully clothed, and those who can appreciate good food to be luxuriously fed. He wants all these things because it is himself that enjoys and appreciates them. It is God who wants to play, sing, and enjoy beauty and proclaim truths and wear fine clothes and eat good foods. It is God that worketh in you to will and to do, said Paul. The desire you feel for riches is the infinite seeking to express himself in you as he sought to find expression in the little boy at the piano. So, when you get the idea, act on it. Move. Do something. That's how God is working through you. Some people feel like God is a bellboy. Whatever it is, I'ma just call on God. God just gonna fix this situation. And God is telling you to tell these people exactly how you feel. And you like, no, God is just gonna fix this situation. I'ma just keep doing the same. You're gonna allow people to keep on talking to you any old type of way. You're not gonna use your throat chakra to say something. You're just gonna let people say whatever it is that they want to say to you. And as long as you do that, what could God do? You believe you deserve that. And you can tell that you're not in harmony with the laws of this here universe, because if you was, or if you was rocking out to what you knew about God, you wouldn't feel this discomfort that you feel when you allow people to talk to you all types of ways and then you be a doormat. The reason you feel the discomfort is because it's not in harmony, it's not in tune. Well, God is not in tune. You just allow people to say any and everything to you. You got to look at your life and say, you know what? I deserve better than this. And once you feel you deserve better than this, you're going to move better. You're not going to keep doing the same exact things that you once used to do. But you have to know you deserve better. It doesn't matter how much you desire to be in that relationship. It'll never happen if you don't feel you deserve it. I remember when I started doing, and awareness is always great. So don't look at your life when you become aware of certain things and feel like, oh my goodness, I know this about me. Oh, this is horrible. No, that's the best thing. Because now you are aware. Now you can fix that. So I remember when I first started doing YouTube, I had told you guys, when I became monetized. And I remember my check, it was $5, right? And I didn't know that you needed, I knew you needed to place the ads on the videos, on on your videos and stuff like that manually, or you could allow YouTube to place the ads. And I remember I went and studied the analytics. I went and studied my analytics. And what you don't study, how can you approve on something if you're not even looking at it or studying it? My whole concept was I'ma just pump out videos, pump out videos, pump out videos. And I would just keep pumping videos out. And then it came to a point where as though you be faced with that belief. The harder you work, the bigger your income would be, or the more you will earn. That is a lie. That is not true. And it says that even in a book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. If you depend on hard work, and it's something else, hard work, and like being good at something, and those things alone, then cancel out that belief because that's not true. And it's not true. And so I was just pumping videos out, pumping videos out. And then I went back. I remember I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said, wait, hold up. Oh, no, wait, hold on. And even now, I look at my income and I'm like, oh, no, hell no, you deserve way more than this. And so this morning, instead of me going to do a Dollar Tree haul, I may do one later on today, I'm not sure, but I'm looking at my analytics. I go over my analytics. I study my analytics. I keep watching the same exact video over. Sean from Think Media, okay, who talks about analytics. And I go over those analytics. And one of the things Sean says from Think Media, he says, basically what you don't pay attention to, you can't improve on it. If you're not paying attention, what don't get measured, don't improve or something like that. So what you don't study is not going to be improved. And you have to study. You have to, and studying is not just in one thing. Oh, and that's the thing I was going to tell you guys about Reverend Ike. And I remember even listening to Reverend Ike one day, and he said this. He said, if you believe you deserve more, then you're going to study that thing. Then you're going to improve on it. And I said, oh my goodness. Okay, let me check my analytics. Let me go over them. Let me keep going over them. Because if I'm just pumping videos out and I don't know what's working or not, then that'll cause frustration because you just pump. You're doing all this work, but you're not improving upon it. And so one of the things that I see in my analytics was this from on YouTube, on my Dollar Tree hauls. Some people, when they do Dollar Tree hauls, they intro, right? Like when they say, hey family or whatever, or they say, so today in Dollar Tree, maybe that go well for them. But you guys who watch my Dollar Tree hauls, a lot of you guys, you like the product. You like to see the products first. And so that's what I found out from studying analytics. Show the product first, soon as the video come, or do cuts. When I have the shades on or whatever it is like that, those are like cuts and stuff that I'm doing in a video. And that's what I noticed. And so you have to pay attention. You have to study. You have to keep on studying to improve your craft. You know what's frustrating is when you keep doing the same exact thing and you hoping and praying and looking for something else new to come. Insanity. Insane. You remember that song, Insane in the Midbrain? But yeah, that's frustrating because it's like it's showing you, life is showing you that don't work. And you like, no, it do work. I'm gonna keep on doing it my way. And life is like, all right, well, you're gonna keep getting the same exact results. It's for you to start looking at it and say, wait, hold on, that don't work. Let me do something different. It's either I could have been like, you know what? I'm gonna put these videos out, the videos that I'm gonna put out, or I can say, all right, I'm on YouTube to serve. I am on YouTube to serve. I am here to add value. Okay? And that's how you have to see it. You have to understand that you are here to serve. And the reason you feel disconnected is because you are not doing what you need to do. Or perhaps you may feel like you are a go-getter. As long as you hold on, family. You may feel that you are a go-getter because that's what you've been conditioned to believe. You've been conditioned to believe to be a go-getter. And that's what's holding you back. Because your whole premise, let me tell you something. You are not here just for you alone. I know you've been conditioned to believe that you are only here just to work and pay bills and to buy some stuff. All right. I know you've been conditioned to believe that. I know you feel like that's pretty much what it is. But I am here to tell you that's not what it is. You are not here just to be a go-getter. You are here to be a go-giver. And in the Bible, it even says it. Even in this book, it says it. Okay? It says all the same exact thing. Those seeds that you plant, you reap the harvest. So the more you give, the more you shall receive. And the more you like, well, it's just about me. I need to get these shoes. I need this. I want this. I want, you just want. You're not even finna serve. And then you wonder why you only have a mere existence, a meager existence. You wonder why you only get a little bit, because that's what you give. You give and you get tenfold. If you don't give, you don't get. And there's so many people that's like, all right, well, you know what? I want to feel the heat first, and then I'm going to put in the fire. Now, even this is universal law. They even do it with work. Okay? You work first, and then you get paid. So I don't know why some people have this, well, I guess, from conditions. They have this concept, well, no, I'm going to get first, and then no. When you work and they don't give you a paycheck first. You know how many people wouldn't show up after they got that paycheck, honey? They wouldn't even show up no more. They'd be like, you know what? The hell with that job. Okay. But it shows it every aspect, every part of our lives. It shows the same exact thing. These laws of this here universe. You give and then you receive. And if you're not willing to give, you won't be receiving. That's just how it is. And so you have to understand it. And so this is what I was telling you guys about Reverend Ike. Now, I remember I was listening to Reverend Ike one day, and I didn't even know who Reverend Ike was. I didn't know. And at this time, I didn't know. I knew a little bit about law of attraction, and I still know a little bit. Okay. I don't know how the whole scheme of things work. But I do know that there's laws in this here universe. And the laws we are governed by the laws. And you can't break the laws, right? And the law is not man-made. And since you can't break them, you would suffer, or you will keep on suffering because you just keep trying to violate the laws and not understanding that you are in violation. Any part of your life that is going in a certain way that you say, oh my goodness, and you keep on going upon it, and you like, why is my life going this way? Most likely is because you are in violation of the laws of this here universe. Like, prime example, if you're a person, you just like, oh, what about me? It's just about me. I'm just going to be a go-getter and everything going to come to me. Then don't expect for you to have much because you just worried about yourself. And that's why you may feel lonely. You may feel lonely. You may feel like you can't connect to nobody. And so I was listening to Reverend Ike, and I didn't know who he was. It was just the audio on YouTube. I think it was like a mixed audio with somebody else. And so I was listening to Reverend Ike, and I never forgot one of the things he said was, he said, never go to bed angry, never go to bed upset, right? And I listened to that audio, and then the next time I came across his audio, and I seen like, oh, it's Reverend Ike. And I thought, damn, he's really good, right? Because he's talking about God. God is within you. You become God. Like, you have to become, like, you and God are this, okay? When you believe in yourself, you believe in God. When you show up, you believe in God. Because you understand that God is working through you. And so I was listening to him, and it was like, oh my goodness, this sounds so good. Well, so I listened. So somebody I'm close to, they say, oh, he's a crook, right? Because they would listen to him back in the day. And they even did some of his like, I think one of the formulas or something. And they said that he was a crook. And so I would listen to Reverend Ike, and then I stopped listening to Reverend Ike, right? Because their idea of what they said, you know, it was like going on. Don't listen, right? Don't listen, right? And I said, so I remember one day I was listening to my mentor, Bob Proctor. Now, I done invested into Bob Proctor service, been mentored by Bob Proctor, and it just wasn't me. It was a group of people for 6 months, and the program was $7,500, right? For you to be mentored by Bob Proctor, and for him to get on the Zoom calls and answer questions and stuff like that. I absolutely love Bob Proctor. Okay, he's not here in physical form, but absolutely. So amazing. So amazing. And I remember one day I was listening to Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor said that he had to do the forward to Reverend Ike, like service or something, because Reverend Ike passed away. And Bob Proctor is a guy that I trust, but somebody who I grew up with said that Reverend Ike was basically a fraud. And so then you go, who do I listen to? Listen, and I got this from Kevin Tredone. You listen to people who have been where you are currently. You listen to people that are where you desire to be. Okay, you listen to people who have the track record of getting the things done that you desire, right? That, like, if you desire to have the house or whatever it is, you listen to successful people. And so I'm not going to listen to this person, the one who said that Reverend Ike was the fraud. Okay, I'm not going to listen to them, because chances are that they may have done something for once or twice. And this is the thing about personal development that I want you guys to understand. Personal development is not, I listen to it when I feel like it. I'm going to listen to it only on when things in my life appear to be bad. I'm a list, because let me tell you, you being every day when you wake up, you are being sent stuff from social media, from Netflix. Every day is penetrating in your subconscious mind. And if you really believe, oh, I'm just going to listen to stuff only when I feel like it, guess what? Your life is not going to change as good as it can change, because You are only doing it when you are faced with adversities. But what if I told you, when you listen to the personal development, and this is what happened in my life. I don't know about what happened in anybody else's life, but what happened in my life, when I listen to personal development, and I listen to it every day, just like I wash every day, I listen to personal development every single day. Soon as I wake up, I meditate. Well, first I thank God. I meditate. After I meditate, I either write my goals down, or sometimes I write my goals down at night. And then I listen to personal development immediately. Immediately, I listen to personal development. This is not, I'm going to do it once. Or when you see things in your life going good, and then you're like, no, I'm not going to listen to it no more. No, you got to keep on listening to it. And so that's what I do. I listen to it every day, until you become it, until I became it. Okay. And so when you hear me, it's funny because when I was on Facebook, people would say a motivational speaker. They would say mainly motivational speaker. But it was all because of the stuff that I was allowing to go into my subconscious mind. It's like you have to be obsessed with that thing that you are doing. And my obsession is changing my life, changing me and my children's lives. How could I change me and my children's life and provide value to the marketplace? Provide value. And as long as you are providing value, as long as you're not like, oh, well, just what about me? What about me? How could I serve? What can I do to get better? And as long as you are focusing or constantly focus on how could you get better, guess what? Your life will get better. But as long as you let me just see how I could make a few dollars. Life gonna have the same exact response. Same exact response. Because you're a go-getter. Everything is about what you can get, as opposed to what services could you provide. And there's something in you that you can provide. And don't say, no, it's not. Dina, you just don't know me. I don't have to know you. You did not come here just to work and pay bills. There's a bigger calling on your life. There's something in you that you are supposed to do. It can be something so small. It could be something so little. It could be something that you may say, oh my goodness, I could do this with my eyes closed. And so when you start understanding it and you get that, now you'll start seeing your life start improving. When you start looking at life and saying, how could I serve? And I read these books and listen to personal development for me to become a better version of myself. And I bring it to social media. But this is for me to become a better version of myself, to become a better parent, to become a better sister, to become, a better just a better person. And I'm not saying I got it all figured out, okay? But this is why I do the things that I do. And I keep showing up. Because when you know you deserve better, you are going to do better. When you know you deserve better. But when you feel like you don't deserve it, you're not going to show up. You just won't do it. Because you feel like you don't deserve it. So you have to understand and get that you are powerful. There's a calling on your life and you deserve better. Whether you believe that's true or not, I am here to tell you, you deserve better. But you have to know that. Like, I could tell you that until I'm blue in the face, but if you don't come to a point where so you accept their truth, then you're not gonna believe that you deserve better. You have to accept that truth. Remember, whatever it is that you believe is right, you are certainly right. You can say, Dina, everybody is out to get me. And I'm gonna say, yep, you're right. Everybody is out to get you. You can say everybody hates you. You're right. It's people that don't even know you, but you say everybody hates you. You know, you got to be mindful of the language that you use. Everybody hates you. A lot of people don't even know you, but you say everybody hates you, and you're right. And so it becomes a prophecy. It becomes a fulfilled prophecy because you done spoke that and you done said that. And so everywhere you go, it seems like the people hate you. But they don't hate you. You just attracting those things. It's almost like you putting your ideas out into the ether, right? Your thoughts and then the emotions. Okay. You keep on following up with instances where as though people appear to hate you. You don't study. You don't understand that people can only give you what they have. It's not that they hate you, it's that they feel a certain way about themselves. And they are giving that to you, okay? Because you are in harmony with that. If you don't like yourself, and if you don't like yourself, then you're going to attract other people who don't like themselves. And it appeared that everybody hates you. Everybody don't hate you. You just getting back, reflected back to you how you feel about yourself. And so I say, you know what I say? I say everywhere I go, the people are just amazing. Everywhere I go, they just love me. You know, if you can trick your mind and believe in everywhere you go, everybody hates you, honey, you can trick your mind and tell yourself, everywhere I go, the people just absolutely love me. Oh my goodness. It's like, and I mean, like, I don't just, like, I believe it. I believe it. You gotta be Delulu. Okay. But Delulu in a sense where as though I know, like I study. And so I tell myself everywhere I go, oh, the people are absolutely lovely. They are absolutely lovely. Everywhere I go. They are kind, they are loving, they are peaceful, they are giving, you know. And that's what you get. You get exactly what you in harmony with. You get in exactly what you believe. And a belief can be changed at any given time. It's a belief. It can be changed, altered at any given time. Some people say, well, I gotta wait to change. Why? Why you gotta wait? You can change right now. I gotta wait for the good. You gotta wait for the good. There's good in your life right now. That if you paid attention to that good in your life right now, more good will come. Why you say you gotta wait for the good? You could make the decision right now. Okay? Right now.
Traditional ideas of success and achievement. We cannot bully ourselves into abundance. We cannot shame ourselves into worthiness. But when we bring kindness, acceptance, and curiosity to our inner blocks, they begin to soften, and the natural flow of abundance.
Right now, I'm listening to this thing on YouTube. It's called The Silent Abundance Law. These are really good. Like these things that they on YouTube, these are really, really good.
Curiosity rather than judgment, we gain valuable insight into where we are open to receiving and where we are still blocking life's gifts. Another important lesson in this chapter is about the power of presence and surrender. When we are constantly chasing the future, comparing ourselves to others, or replaying old wounds, we fragment our energy. we become disconnected from the present moment, which is the only place abundance can actually meet us. The author shares a moving story of a woman who spent years chasing success, only to discover peace and fulfillment when she finally allowed herself to slow down, breathe, and reconnect to the simple joys of our everyday life. It was in that state of surrender that new opportunities and relationships effortlessly appeared. The chapter also explores the idea that the universe responds to the vibration we hold. When we cultivate a state of openness, gratitude, trust, and joy, we become magnetic to experiences and people that match that frequency. This is not to say that life becomes a constant stream of perfection. Challenges still arise, but we meet them from a place of resilience and resourcefulness, rather than fear and panic. The inner shift does not guarantee a life without problems. It gives us the tools to navigate life with grace. As the chapter moves toward its conclusion,
This is so good. Oh my goodness. As I was talking, something just was like, pause it. I mean, like, pay attention to this. This is really, really good. I absolutely love listening to stuff like this. Understanding that I have the ability to change my life from wherever it is. And it feels good to, what feels good? The whole process. It feels good. So me being on Section 8, right? And when I would be working these jobs, right? And I'm so grateful for those jobs. I am extremely grateful because it let me know that I deserve better. There's purpose and meaning to everything in our lives. Don't ever look at your life and think that there's no purpose, there's no meaning to it. It's just there's purpose and meaning to everything in our lives. And so those jobs that I worked, I am grateful for it because it brought upon me asking or me making statements. I know I'm not here for just this. I know I am here for something bigger and better. Hold on, family. So I know I'm not here just for this. Like, I know I'm here for something bigger and better. A book that I absolutely love is Abraham Hicks and Jerry Hicks' book, Ask and It Is Given. Because in that book, it has one story in there that I always remember, and it's about a father and son. And the son kept on wetting the bed, right? And the father had asked Abraham Hicks, like, I don't know what I should do about my son. Like, he just keep wetting the bed. And one of the things Abraham Hicks said, well, what do you do when you see that he wet the bed? Like, walk us through the whole, demonstration. You get up, you see that he wet the bed. And he said, well, when I go in a room and I see that he wet the bed, like, I already know that he wet the bed because it smelled, right? It smelled like he wet the bed. And then Abraham Hicks said, so basically he expects, like, he expects his son to wet the bed. And because he expected, the way he reacts to his son wetting the bed, his son then do it again. Because remember, what you keep on giving attention to, that thing is going to grow. So Abraham Hicks says, so instead of you doing it, when you see that he wet the bed, tell him accidents happens, right? Accident happens, things happen. And this is what happens when you are growing up, when you get in, when you grow, okay, accidents. And so because he took it a different route, the son had stopped wetting the bed because he wasn't giving attention to what he didn't want. He started giving attention to what he do want. And so those jobs or whatever it is, it brought upon me asking or me saying, I deserve better, right? Any aspect of your life that you say you don't like, it is to bring in something better. But if it wasn't for that paycheck that you was getting, the reason you feel that, oh, I deserve better than this is because there's more for you than that. That's why you feel that way. You wouldn't feel that way if there wasn't more, something else better, something else more for you. If you wouldn't feel that way if there wasn't something better for you. You feel that way because there's something better. And so it brings upon the asking. That's why the book is called Asking It Is Given. Because now you asking, whenever you are feeling something that you don't like, it puts you in a mindset, if you're receptive, to start asking or paying attention to what you do like. Prime example, you're in a relationship, right? This relationship that you in, say for instance, the person, they talk to you crazy. They tell you all types of stuff. They tell you how you fat, how you are good for nothing, how you lazy, everything. Be grateful for them. Now, and I know some of you guys be like, what? Why the hell would I be grateful for them? After they done told me, well, first of all, sweetheart, you attracted them. You attracted them. And so now that you attracted them and you see exactly how they are based upon what you believe that you deserve, now you start saying, wait, I deserve better than this. And then you start saying, well, what type of relationship would I prefer? I prefer someone that's respectful. I prefer someone that enjoys their life, okay? Because if they enjoy their life, I know that by them being a part of my life, they're going to enjoy me because they already enjoy their life. I desire someone that is loving, that is kind, that is willing to master themselves, someone that's in personal development. Like, the list goes on and on, right? And so now you start focusing on what it is that you desire. And then you become that, what you desire. And so if I'm saying I want somebody that's willing to self-master themselves, and I'm not even willing to, admit when I'm wrong, I don't know how well that's going to work out. It's not going to work out too well. So I want you to understand and get, your life is going to change when you change. And everything that shows up in our lives is not good or bad. It's just is. It's all according to our perception. I can say, and the reason I said that about the ex that says you fat and all this other stuff, I had an ex that always would tell me to read. I'm extremely grateful for him. Extremely grateful for him. I mean, he used to say it to try to be funny, but I am extremely grateful for him. Because if it wasn't for him telling me to keep on reading, I would have not probably looked at it and said, well, maybe it's something there, right? Sometimes we don't tend to do things because we have this belief that we're not qualified or we don't know how to do it. But you can always learn. Especially with Chat GPT and Google and stuff like that, you can always learn. And so what I started doing was I started reading. I started buying books on personal development. That's what I love. I love personal development, learning, knowing that you can be somewhere, you can be on, it feels so good, on Section 8, on food stamps, and then transform my life, okay? And then get paid from YouTube, and then wind up buying a condo, then wind up buying a home. I mean, that feels so amazing to know the possibilities. And for me to be on Section 8 and then the steps. Oh, now I'm monetized on YouTube. And now I have the ability to buy a home. By me applying these steps, by me applying these techniques, by me becoming a better version of myself. The possibilities are endless. The things that you can do. So when people say they can't change their lives, that is a blatant, that's just a complete lie. That's a lie. Anybody can change, and they can change at any given time. Now, do they desire to change? You can always look at their actions and see, I have a lot of the guys, when I see a lot of the guys that whether they watch my YouTube or my Facebook, or when I go certain places and say, for instance, we talk and then I recommend a book. And the next time I see them, I ask them, did you get the book? Some of them say no. I know that they not hunger for change. They don't, they don't expect that their life can change. They don't think that their lives can change. Because if they do it, and if they felt they deserve change or they deserve better, they would get the book. And some people may say, well, I never read a book and my life changed. I'm only speaking from what I do. You got to listen to the people who don't read the books. I'm only giving you what I do. And so you have to understand that if you want better, you're going to do better. If you feel you deserve better, you're going to do better. You're going to trust the process. Like this morning, when I got the download for me to do a YouTube live. I've been on here almost damn 2 hours. And I didn't even know what the video was going to be about. I didn't know what the video was going to be about. I just got that download. Do a YouTube live. And I said, huh? Do a YouTube live. Oh, all right. And I trusted the process. And as I started the camera, the ideas just started flowing. So you have to trust the process. Trust the process. Know you deserve better. Know you deserve more. But you're going to have to do better, and you're going to have to do something different. Your way is not working. And it shows. You know when your way isn't working. If I keep pumping videos out and I'm not paying attention to the analytics, right? And then I see my paycheck from YouTube and I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, right? Then that shows me my way isn't working. If you know you here to serve, if you on a platform, right? And the platform is based upon what the people want. You don't be stubborn and say, well, I'm going to give what I want to give. No, you got to give what the people want. If I see, now I'm not saying go against yourself, but what I'm saying is if you, and I get this example again with the Dollar Tree horse.
if I see that people like in the first beginning, they want to be seen, they want to see a product. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to just, give the intro and say, peace family. And, take them through this whole thing and then show the product. People going to leave. They ain't going to watch the video. But if I pay attention to what the audience want and I give them what they want, then I get what I want. You see how it works? If you give, then you receive. It's not about you. In business, you got to give the customers what they want. If not, they're going to go somewhere else. That's just that, but that's just universal law. You have to give. And so you could be one of those people like, you know what? I'm not giving a darn thing. You can say that. You can say that. You can say you ain't giving diddly squat. And guess what? Life is gonna respond that way right back to you. You don't get it. It's gonna hold back from you. And to the ones that's out there that's like, well, I don't know, I just don't know where to start. On my journey, right? When I first got started, and I share this story because I feel that this could benefit somebody. When I first got started, I did not know exactly where to start neither. But remember what I kept on saying? I kept telling you guys, I kept on saying, I know I came here for something bigger and better. I knew I came here for something bigger and better. And I didn't know what that bigger and better meant. I had no clue. But I had a knowingness that I deserve better than this. And all the things that I've been conditioned to believe, I knew that they didn't work. They just did not work. Being a go-getter, it did not work. Some parts it'll work, but just for your whole being, just for you to completely be a go-getter, everything, go-getter, 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 you will be exhausted. And so I knew, like, this don't work. And at times, that shows up still, a bit like, oh, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. That's why today I was like, you know what? I'm going to just pay attention to analytics. I'm going to read and I'm just going to enjoy the day. And then I got to download Do It Live. But as long as you feel like I just got to do, you can't be receptive to, what God is saying, right? Because your whole mindset is it got to get everything, it got to be done. It got to be done. It got to be done. And you don't pause. You don't break. You don't sit down. You don't give yourself time to rest. And it's something that I'm learning. Okay, so I'm not on here like, oh, I got it all figured out. Be wary of the people that, act like they have it all figured out. Because all figured out, I don't know about all figured out. Okay, because, you figure it out as you go. Right? Like all figured, I don't know nobody like that. Okay. But that's how you figure it out as you go. And let me tell you something, it's gonna be times where as though you may think like, oh, I got over there. Or it may be times where so you may feel like, oh well, I'm past that. And then something shows you that you need to pay more attention to this. And that's okay too. It is not for you to judge yourself, to beat yourself up, but for you to say, you know what, I'm doing the best that I know how to do. And I'm doing better each and every day. And give yourself grace. Don't constantly pick on yourself. Because as long as you are picking on yourself and criticizing yourself, that's what you're going to get. Other people are going to do the same exact thing. And other people may be criticizing you now, right? But if you're not, like, I don't hang around nobody like that. I don't hang around people that's constantly, oh, you know what, you this, you that, or whatever it is. Or don't wear your hair like this. Or why you doing that? Or why you wearing it? I don't hang around nobody like that. You have to be your best friend. You have to be your best friend. You have to love yourself. And loving yourself, it means growth. It means acceptance. It means change. That's what loving yourself means. Not for you to hate the old version of yourself, because that old version of yourself got you to this new version. So it's not for you to say, oh my goodness, the old version, the old version of me, I'm grateful for that person because it got me here. If it wasn't for me experiencing certain things in life, honey, I would not be doing these videos right now. Okay. Let me tell you, I would not be doing these videos. So every aspect of your life, you have to be grateful for it. Every aspect. The relationships, the jobs, where you live, the amount of money you used to earn. Be grateful for those things. Your mother, your father, be grateful for those things. Even if you feel like, well, they could have did better. They could have only done what they did. You can't give watermelon from apples. They could have only given you what they had available. And it may seem like, damn, like, oh my goodness, but you don't understand my story. I don't have to understand your story, but I do know this. They could only give you what they had available. If somebody feel like they don't deserve love, if they feel like that they could only, if they felt like they was never seen, never heard when they was a child, right? And they grow up and have children. And you like, say for instance, you never received hugs when you was a child. And then you grow up and you like, why we never, I never received a hug. And maybe you just that kid that loves hugs, right? You don't know. You just like hugs. And you see, maybe your parents don't give hugs. Well, they can't give you. You may say, well, they could have gave me a hug. Prime example. I had a good friend, right, of mine. It was a guy friend. And I remember it was a few things that he taught me about subconscious mind. And at that time when he said these things, honey, I did not know what the heck he was talking about. Okay. I looked at him, I didn't understand nothing, hardly too much. And he was explaining it, and I just didn't really understand it. And I remember one day me and him was talking because we have similar backgrounds, and you wonder how certain people come into your life, right? And how certain people become your friends because y'all two are in harmony with one another. But anywho, so I remember one day he had came to my house. A man was talking, and I don't remember, exactly what the conversation was, but I remember, oh, he was about to leave, and he was like, "Let me get a hug." And I was standing, I never forget this, standing in the doorway, acting all tough and cool, right? And I was like, I don't do no hugs, right? Because it's like, like macho, so to speak, like tough, right? You know, and some of you guys may feel this way because it's like you're afraid to get hurt. You don't want to get too close, and that's probably why you don't give hugs, and that's probably why your mama or your daddy didn't give hugs, right? Because it lets people see a part of them, like where's though you being vulnerable, where you being soft. And and sometimes we have this misconstruct, this concept of if I let my guard down, then people will run over me, they will take advantage of me. What I've come to realize and find out, the more you have that guard up, is the more you are keeping love out, and the more people will take advantage of you because you are focusing on people taking advantage of you. And so I remember he said, "Let me get a hug." And I was like, "I don't do hugs." And he was like, "You don't do hugs?" And he was like blown away by it. I never looked at it like that. I just was like, I don't do damn hugs. I never looked at it like, oh my goodness, And so he said, "You don't do hugs?" I said, "No." He said, "You don't give nobody hugs?" Now we've been friends for many years. And it never came up, for us me hugging people or hugging him or whatever. And he was like kind of baffled by it. And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Not even your kids?" So he really started going diving deep. And I said, "No." Because as a child, I didn't see too many hugs. Okay. My grandma, when I would go to my grandmother's house, my grandmother from my mother's side, when we would go, I would give my grandmother a kiss on the cheek and stuff. But hugs, I didn't really see too many hugs, okay, growing up as a kid. And so my friend said to me, he said, when it's still freezing, so my friend said to me, he said, when your children come home, he said, give them a hug. He was like, when your children come home from school, I want you to give your children a hug. And I don't know if I gave my children a hug that same day. I probably didn't. But then later on, I started giving my children hugs. And so the reason I'm saying it is because you can't, I know you may feel like, well, my parents, they could have given me more than what they gave me. Well, if they believed that they couldn't give it, you can't give what you believe you don't have. If you ask a person for $10,000, right, and say they don't have it, are you going to get upset because that person said they don't have $10,000, or are you going to find another way, another route, another how? And to me, just because your parents wasn't able to give you the love that you desired, you are an adult now. You can give those things to yourself. Some people may say, well, how do I start? Well, what did it for me? I was reading The Mastery of Love. Okay? I was reading The Mastery of Love. And so the information, it will be provided to you. How do I start loving myself? Well, first I accept myself. Don't judge. Don't overly criticize yourself. I'm doing the best that I know how to do. There's plenty room for improvement, but I'm doing the best that I know how to do. When you are operating from there, as opposed to judging, if you judging yourself, that's not going to help you. That's just going to tear up the confidence that you do have. Because you continuously criticizing yourself. If you continuously criticize yourself, okay, you're not going to feel good. And so if I look at my life and say, you know what, Dina, you're doing the best that you know how to do. You're doing better than what you did yesterday. You're doing such an amazing job. It's like you have to speak to yourself the way that you may have wished that the adults would have spoken to you. And you can't keep on saying, oh, because what my mama or my daddy did, because it's a point in time where so you look at your life and say, but what did I do? Right? Like as you are an adult, is some cycles that you continuously do. Like if you looking for your father love and you felt like your father never gave you love, then chances are when you become an adult, you still looking for your father love in men. And then it comes a point in time where as though you forgive yourself, understanding that, you know what, they can't give me what I feel like I don't have, or what I feel that I am in scarcity of. If you feel like you have a love deficit when God is love, you start looking at your life a little different. So, with that being said, I love you guys, and I catch you guys on the next one. Keep going, keep growing. Until next time. Peace.